not always want to be an attorney at law. Growing up in deep rural St. Mary, becoming an attorney at law would have not entered my wildest dreams. So up to fifth form, I wanted to be so many different things at different times. I remember wanting to be a teacher, then a nurse, then I wanted to be a bank teller, a receptionist at a hotel, and by the time I entered law 6 at the St. Mary High School, I wanted to be a meteorologist. The idea to become a lawyer was really born out of an unfortunate incident. It happened that when I was studying for my A-level exams, I got terrible news one night that my youngest uncle was detained by the police. He was held on suspicion of murder. And I recall crying my eyes out, and during that mental anguish, I declared to my grandparents that I'm going to be an attorney at law. So I told them then that I was going to be an attorney at law because my uncle was too poor to afford legal representation, and I wanted that I would be able to assist my family if anyone should get in trouble. So that was where that idea came. My uncle was eventually released after 2 days because, of course, post-mortem examination results showed that the man died from a heart attack. That dream led me to my first job in 1986 as an assistant clerk of the courts in the St. Andrew Resident Magistrates Court at Halfway Tree. Eventually, I was recommended by the then Chief Justice, the Honourable Edward Zacco, to be granted a scholarship to pursue law. And I followed up with that recommendation and with my dream, and it took me to my legal studies, which terminated at the final destination at the Norman Manley Law School. To say that the Norman Manley Law School has impacted my life in a tremendously positive way would be an understatement. Of course, it goes without saying that without it, I would not have been where I am today. So it played an indispensable role in my professional development. The law school stands at a very high place of honor in my family. It is a symbol of pride. I met my husband, Keith Bishop, as a member of the class of 1996, that special class. And we happened to start our family at the Norman Manley Law School. Our 2 children, Raul and Nahila, are graduates of the law school, and our youngest son, Naeem, is now in his final months. Upon his graduation, which we pray will occur soon, we will be a proud household of 5 graduates from the Norman Manley Law School. So I can proudly say that the Norman Manley Law School has provided high quality, first class education. The second reason that I must hold the Norman Manley Law School as a symbol of pride, I have managed to work outside the jurisdiction on regional and international bodies, and I have never felt any less competent or qualified than anyone else with whom I had to interact who was not trained at the Norman Manley Law School. So I have concluded that the Norman Manley Law School has equipped me with the basic tools, or at least some of the basic tools that I need for my professional growth and development. The Norman Manley Law School brought me to the full realization that a hero lies in me. It taught me to be an independent thinker and a courageous advocate for social justice and legal reform. Of course, I owe tremendous gratitude to many persons with whom I have interacted at the law school. In this regard, I would salute Justices Boyd Carey, who is no longer with us, Dennis Morrison, King's Counsel, Carl Harrison, and Algernon Smith. Mr. Kent Country, King's Counsel, Miss Dorcas White, Mr. Peter Carson, Miss Janet Mignot. But my greatest treasure, I must say, lies in my colleagues, the class of 1996. I've always described them as an elite group, and today I can say without any fear of contradiction that this class has reflected the bright and shining star of the Norman Manley Law School. From within that class, I have formed my closest and most enduring friendships that have profoundly impacted my life. My first favorite memory is when our class, through the effort of Carol Edwards and Philip Dale, and with the assistance of Clyde Williams, won the U Wooding Law School in the Margaret Ford Meeting competition, I think the name was, in or around 95. And I also remember with much pride that it was our class that spearheaded the inaugural staging of the Norman Manley Lecture, which is now an annual event in the school's calendar. Of course, I believe it's very important to give something back. And all graduates of the Norman Manley Law School, I believe, should seek to make some form of contribution to the life and development of aspiring attorneys at law. It does not have to be in the form of monetary gifts or even to go back there to teach. I believe there's power in even simple words of encouragement, commendation, and prayer. So none of us, I would say, reach the law school on our own strength. And therefore, it is our responsibility and duty to give something back. I would leave us with the wise words of Maya Angelou, who says, "You should not go through life with catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back."